We human beings are a superstitious tribe. Ever since we learned how to talk, we've been passing on superstitions to one another. Some of them pretty useful. Superstitions about spiders and snakes keep us from getting bitten and dying. Superstition about the dark, about ghosts, will keep us from walking through the jungle at night. Keep us from becoming leopard food. But sometimes superstitions aren't terribly useful. They work against us. And Francis Bacon, at the beginning of the Enlightenment, said there's got to be a better way. And he invented a scientific method, empiricism. Works like this. You have a question, say about leopards. You do some research. What have other people said about leopards at night? And you say, I'm not sure that the problem in the forest is ghosts. It might be leopards. So you form a thesis, a hypothesis. Leopards eat people as they walk in the forest at night. You test the hypothesis. You get a few volunteers to walk through the forest at night. And if they come back, you say, that ain't leopards. And if they don't come back, you say, it might be leopards. And finally, you draw a conclusion. Don't walk through the forest at night, they're leopards. Now, three guys in the 18th century applied the scientific method to disease. They were Robert Koch, Joseph Lister, and Louis Pasteur. And they said, what causes disease? So they did a couple things. One, they would isolate somebody who was sick from everybody else, from people who were well. And they tried sterilizing stuff in hospitals. And lo and behold, if you kept sick people away from well people, the well people didn't get sick. And if you sterilized stuff in the hospitals, the disease didn't go from one patient to another. You had the germ theory of disease, which was very valuable. And you would think it would have put an end to superstition. But it doesn't. We have taken that very workable theory and made it the foundation of a great many modern superstitions. And I'm a victim of many of them, let me tell you. I have a little bit of black stuff in the corner in my room. Mold. Mold, that's a microbe, that's deadly. Hey, wait, is that deadly? Do my research. I go to a site of a guy, of an entrepreneur who's selling mold products. He's going to get rich off mold. He says, yes, it's deadly. What does it cause? Well, it causes autoimmune diseases like lupus. It causes stillbirths, dead babies. It causes cancer. And it causes sudden infant death syndrome. Really? Well, the cancer thing should be a relief to smokers. We thought that smoking caused cancer. And the others don't affect me, so I'm not terribly worried about mold. But I have to be, because superstitions dictate the mold is deadly, and we have to get rid of all the mold in our house. And we have been through about 5 iterations of improving the ventilation in our house to solve this non-existent problem. The germ theory of disease applies to food. Common sense says, if it smells bad, if it's slimy and looks bad, throw it away. Otherwise, it's probably okay. But no. When I make a barbecue, for instance, I marinate the meat overnight in soy sauce and wine. Leave it to sit out so that that stuff can seep into the meat. I go to bed and I come back in the morning and I find that my marinade has gone in the refrigerator. Why? So that the microbes don't kill everybody at the barbecue. Well, it doesn't taste quite right, but no microbes. If I make a lasagna and there's a little bit left over, still warm, it has to immediately go in the refrigerator so that there aren't any microbes, so we don't have an attack lasagna killing people the next day. If a kid drinks a glass of milk, usually only drinks half a glass, puts the other half down, goes in the refrigerator. The kid comes back in another half hour, gets another glass, pours some fresh milk in it, drinks half of it, goes in the refrigerator. The refrigerator gets very full of half glasses of milk. Well, we know what happens to milk, what microbes do to milk. They turn it into prostokvashina, kefir in the store. But our milk doesn't get that far. It's stuck in limbo halfway, too diseased to drink, but not sour enough to use. Until I take it out, let it get sour, and make pancakes out of it. These dread diseases affect our floors. I'm a simple character. If I walk on the floor and it goes crunch, 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 I say, look, the floor is dirty. I'll sweep it and clean it up. Not good enough. Why not? Because of the microbes, silly. Sweeping doesn't kill the microbes. You need to wet mop it every day. You gotta drown the little things. Okay, so we wet mop the floor, and in the process, by the way, get the wood wet and the black stripes show up between the wood. That's mold. But the other microbes were more deadly. And what are we protecting ourselves against? These three gentlemen from the 18th century got rid of typhus, diphtheria, typhoid, tuberculosis pretty much. So we don't even have any diseases to protect ourselves against pretty much. They're gone. But we've protected ourselves. Now, I have a hard time raising objections. If I do, it's just, you're lazy. You don't want to mop the floor. Or, you don't love our children. You're going to let them die of diseases because of your silly beliefs. So I wind up doing things that I think are dumb. They can't be validated by the scientific method. I say, you know, this is a rich society. We can afford this sort of glupost. So I go along with it. I say that there are other times, such as a Holodomor, when you would not question whether the apple that you picked off the tree had disease on it. You'd be very happy it was there. And if there was something that had sat around for a couple of days, you would not question whether it had disease. You would eat it. Well, these diseases are, these theories that go against about disease don't make sense to me. And they do waste my time, and they might cause me to do things that were stupid in an emergency. So here's my advice. If you're going to have a superstition, here's what I recommend that you believe in. Be superstitious about the scientific method. My superstition is that the scientific method will tell you things that are good to know. Madam Toastmaster.